The Iowa Department of Transportation is conducting a Super 2 corridor study and public input survey for the US 18 corridor in Floyd and Chickasaw counties. The purpose of this video is to introduce and share information about the US 18 corridor study and to request your input about the roadway. We would like to hear from people who live, work, and travel along the US 18 corridor so that we can fully understand your transportation needs to determine what improvements may be necessary. All comments are welcome and will be considered as part of the study. The US 18 study corridor begins at the eastern city limits of Charles City in Floyd County and ends just west of the US 63 interchange near New Hampton in Chickasaw County. The corridor is approximately 16 miles in length. The study passes through or near several communities, including Charles City, Bassett, and New Hampton. The US 18 corridor has been identified as one of the corridors within the state that would likely benefit from Super 2 improvements. Super 2 projects are an effort from the Iowa DOT to right-size our primary highway system based on budgetary constraints and maximize system efficiency statewide. Super 2 improvements serve as an alternative to a 4-lane capacity expansion project and can aid in uninterrupted flow of traffic and provide an accommodation for slower vehicles when necessary. The purpose of the US 18 corridor study in Floyd and Chickasaw counties is to understand the corridor's needs, identify potential improvements, and develop an ultimate vision for the future. To understand existing conditions and transportation needs, the existing roadways and bridges need to be assessed to determine their current condition and if they meet typical engineering design standards. Areas that may pose a safety concern based on crash data will also be identified. To understand future transportation needs, we will forecast traffic levels to understand how much traffic the corridor can expect to serve in the future and if the existing infrastructure can serve the forecast travel demands. Potential improvements that will allow the US 18 corridor to continue to serve existing traffic needs as well as to accommodate future travel demands will be identified. These improvements may include the addition of passing lanes and turn lanes at strategic locations, wider shoulders, and safety enhancements. As mentioned early on in this video, the US 18 corridor has been identified as one of the corridors within the state that would likely benefit from Super 2 improvements. Super 2 highways provide improved safety and mobility by reducing the potential for severe head-on crashes with oncoming traffic by providing passing opportunities for faster moving vehicles. Passing opportunities are created by providing passing lanes at regular intervals about every 4 to 5 miles. The length of the passing lane is adjusted depending on traffic volumes on the route and the features of a particular segment along the corridor, such as terrain, access points, and other site-specific conditions. Generally, the passing lanes will alternate from one direction of travel to the other within a section of roadway. The transitions at the beginning and end of the passing lane will allow sufficient room for the diverging and merging traffic. Passing lanes can also serve as climbing lanes in areas with steeper grades. Wider paved shoulders and intersection improvements are also a feature of Super 2 highways. This study will consider passing lane locations and spacing using Iowa Department of Transportation guidance. Also, when evaluating the US 18 corridor for Super 2 improvements, consideration will be given to adding left and right turn lanes and full-width paved shoulders to certain areas of the corridor to enhance safety and operations. The study will also consider the public input survey results. The US 18 corridor study is broken into 3 general steps. The first step focuses on data gathering and corridor understanding, including agency coordination, existing conditions analysis, crash analysis, and a public input survey. The second step focuses on what needs have been identified and how those needs may be addressed. The study will conclude with a vision document that will outline the preferred improvements for consideration and will serve as a corridor roadmap by the Iowa DOT to help identify potential future projects for development and funding. The study team is currently wrapping up the Step 1 efforts and is transitioning into Step 2 activities. At this time, the Iowa DOT does not have dedicated improvement money programmed or set aside to immediately implement any improvements in this study in the near term. As we noted earlier in this presentation, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts and ideas on the existing US 18 corridor? What concerns do you have? What future needs do you anticipate? All input is welcome. Please complete the survey and share your thoughts and ideas by Monday, October 28, 2024. Here are the next steps for the study. Your feedback and input will be considered and incorporated into the study. A second public information sharing event to present study findings and to seek feedback will be held in spring 2025. The study will be used by the Iowa DOT to develop an overall plan or vision for this portion of US 18. The public input on the recommendations will be considered in the final vision document. Your input is needed throughout the study. Opportunities for your involvement include the project website, social media, virtual public information meetings, and an input survey. You can share your feedback, thoughts, and ideas regarding the corridor and any identified improvements that may be warranted. Your feedback will be considered throughout the study and will be paired with engineering and transportation planning principles and best practices to identify the most necessary, sustainable, and cost-effective solutions that will meet the needs of the corridor today and in the future. This online video is part of our public involvement plan and process. Thank you again for your time and involvement. Please contact us with any questions or comments you have regarding the US 18 Super 2 Corridor Study. If you would like to receive future email notifications or submit a comment or question regarding the study, go to the link provided below. Or if you wish to comment via telephone or in writing, you can contact Krista Billhorn, Iowa DOT District 2 Planner, or Adrian Knight with the Iowa DOT Location and Environment Bureau. Comments must be received by October 28, 2024 to be considered. We look forward to receiving your comments and input.